Alright guys, listen, I know my camera's bad. I wasn't even gonna record anything. I was doing my late night scroll and watching YouTube. I've gotta talk about this. I've been scrolling and bad video quality, but I watched this short, right? He stopped taking his medication and every day he would start doing self-portraits. And so we're gonna jump right into it. I think this guy went ahead and took his own interpretation of all the information that was provided. He put in some time and research into so he would make a painting, right? And then he would leave like a little message. And I'm telling you, this is all in the video here, so go back and watch it for sure. It's definitely super interesting, and I love like the other perspectives and things. But I need to talk about this because he didn't mention it in his video at all. So we're gonna cut to it. I'm gonna give you my interpretation. Okay, it's kind of trippy, so buckle in. Instead of going through his video and talking about each portrait, we're gonna watch his last piece together because this is where it gets trippy.
On the 12th of July, just days before his death, this portrait was completed, this time without any clear facial features presented. Instead, a barrage of words, such as enemy and rival, planted over and over again across the painting. The phrase, "the cards are no good that I am holding unless they are from another world," is a line from Series of Dreams by Bob Dylan, the last track on the Bootleg series, volumes 1 to 3. Towards the bottom right-hand corner of the painting appears to be quite an assortment of activity. The round objects, as well as what appears to be a syringe, could indicate the medication that Charnley was taking at the time. The crosses on what could be medicine tablets might signify the decrease in dosage that he was taking. The symbolic nails that make a regular theme in his portraits appear once again as well. The big bright blue word of hope could indicate his final desperation of believing he may conquer his own mind, as it appears to be on the forefront of the painting, but it's not entirely certain. Charnley would unfortunately not document anything in his diary about this painting, as well as his very last painting, dated on the 19th of July, 1991, before ending his own life. Many have believed this work to be unfinished due to the simplistic style of this painting compared to his other work. But as this painting has clearly been dated in the bottom right hand corner, like the rest of his work, many other people believe otherwise. It is also not entirely clear what day Charnley died. The use of big bright red and yellow colours could be associated with his acute mental anguish at the time. This theme is not unknown during his portraits created in May earlier that year. Following his suicide, Bryan Charnley's self-portrait series was exhibited at the National Portrait Gallery in...
Listen, I don't know if I am just tweaking out. I don't know how to get my camera back. Okay. And the quality's awful. I know. It's my streaming camera, and I hardly even stream. Listen, this stuff. I'm sorry. I have to edit that. This stuff is crazy. Okay, I'm actually like tweaked. I don't know this guy's background, right? I'm just a scroller online, and I'm just seeing this. And if I'm crazy and this busts on YouTube and no one cares, that's whatever. I don't care because this is crazy to me. Okay, I don't know his social life. I don't know what's going on. Right? He might be having his own thing. To me, what this looks like he's reaching out hope. Like this is my last hope. Like I don't know what else. The cards are no good. Everything that I have right now, there's nothing. There's nothing that's there. I'm not me anymore. This isn't me. All my cards, no good. Unless they're from another world. Now, this like I said, it gets crazy. I'm thinking this guy hears all these voices, like all these voices, all these people, all these thoughts, all these. There's another photo in here about brains, referencing all these brains, like all these brains, all these people, all these thoughts pressuring him. He's trapped in a cage of his mind. You know, he can't talk, doesn't want to talk. Whatever, it might be a social thing, like I said, but this guy's like, things have creeped in. This is like a spider reference or something. Also maybe being trapped or webbed or caught or killed or, you know, victimized or something. And he's got all these other brains of people, of these voices going on in his head. I think this one might have had some social stigma wrapped around it with the voices talking or I don't know, the guy goes into some social thing, but this stuff is trippy, dude. This stuff is trippy. This is crazy. He's at a crossroads, right? Like all of these people's lives and journeys are intersected to him because he's hearing all of this, right? Like I don't know. I'm tripping out. And this is the last part that really gets me. I'm gonna be honest with you. You guys, I don't know who. Maybe I'm the only one that sees this right now, but I swear to God, I'm gonna try to describe this to you, and I hope you can see it. Or if you already see it, then and this is all a bust, and I'm just losing my mind. Like I said, because I've only watched one video. Listen, this guy's talking about smear marks, and when you first look at this, it looks like smears, right? It just all smeared across. To me, this is a red shirt. This is hair. Maybe red shirt or background. I don't know. But if you look at this right here, that looks like a mouth. This looks like the shade of underneath the face. And the face is spread out, the cheeks, an eyeball or eyes, and a nose or something right here. I don't know if maybe he had drawn the image of a girl or a person and then smeared across, like, no, I can't show that, or something like that. Like, forget it, and smeared it, right? Like I said, if you guys already see this, and this bus, whatever, but I am, like, this is wild. This guy's schizophrenic, and he's hearing all these people and thoughts and other, like, dimensions or worlds. Like, you're losing your fucking mind. This guy's going crazy. Or he's open, like, dude, he's some sort of door. Dude, I don't know. This could go down a wild... This looks like a face. Listen, I kind of went off on the deep end a little bit. This is a person. He drew a portrait of someone else. That's not him. This is another thing that he had drawn and smeared. I'm just saying, imagine if it was someone or something from his schizophrenia, of another voice of another person, or some sort of other thing that got to his brain. Because if you look at his videos of, like, bugs and insects and voices getting closer and creeping in, because it used to be, this is how it started.
For this portrait is as follows. Conventional portrait painted in 2 sittings. The entry that Charnley provided for this portrait is as follows.
This is his first portrait.
Conventional portrait painted in 2 sittings.
This is what it started
Is it a good likeness? Drug dosage was 2 3mg tablets of Depixol daily, plus 2 25mg of tryptosol. I was sleeping a lot.
He was sedated.
As you can see, the signs of a powerful, unpredictable mental state is drastic.
This is his second image of things creeping into him, and he's being, like, he feels like he's being watched or being seen, or like something's earing over you or behind you. You know what I mean? Like, you're being watched. I don't know if you ever went down a hallway and you're, like, creeped out or something, but he's feeling creeped out. This is how I take it. He's got things going into his mind, like something's getting closer. Some sort of creature or thing is invading his space, and he's getting very overwhelmed by it. I didn't see that in the clip. I'm not gonna go through it. I'm sure this guy, like I said, he has his own opinions, and I have my own opinion. I'm just doing this because I think this stuff is interesting. Like, I didn't go through this. I didn't look through this on the thing. This one I saw on the short. I feel like he's being targeted. He thinks he's being targeted, and you know, they're taking all these shots and pinning him up. Some outer world thing, maybe that's a reference. It kind of looks like a UFO. I don't know what the guy says.
With a more blatant take on the self-portrait theme, but with obvious possibly symbolizing the cruel remarks Charnley believes have been thrown at him. The feeling of constantly feeling targeted by people around him.
He thinks it's, and maybe he's losing his mind and thinks that other people are after him. That could be true too. I've already lost my mind.
Big bright blue word of hope could indicate his final desperation of believing he may conquer his own mind, as it appears to be on the forefront of the painting. But it's not entirely certain.
He's already lost his mind, dude. He lost his mind already. Like, that's where I don't understand. When people look at that, and this guy's schizophrenic, and like, he's lost his mind. Imagine you're hearing voices from all over. Like, you can't get away from it. I mean, you can go to sleep, but how can you sleep? How can you fall asleep when all you can hear are these things and people? Like, I'm not schizophrenic, and I can't imagine if I was, that would be miserable. Like, I feel for those people. But how can you say that he's trying to conquer his mind when he... Give me one day of hearing voices in my head constantly, and I'm crazy. I've already lost my mind. I've already lost. Like, I mean, and so he puts hope, like, to try to conquer. Like, no, he wants. I think he's trying to reach out for more. I think there's more behind it, dude. I really do. I really do think there's more behind people. Yeah, I mean, if you're a schizophrenic person and you experience that, I think there's more to it, man. Like, if I'm being real with you, it's not. There's more than meets the eye. This world is so complex, and you know, you believe religion or not, like, there's things that we don't understand, and this is something that I think people understand, you know, obviously very differently, because understand it. I think he's his last hope of somebody trying to understand that what he thinks of all of this, because no one's picking up on it or something. Like, I don't know. That's the way I look at it. And this, to me, here at the end, like I said, I don't know if you guys, if that's just me, or if everybody already knows it, that's great. And if no one has any clue, or if you can't see it, like, I looked at it at first and I was like, oh, why did he draw that? Like, that looks like crap. Why would such a great artist, after all of this imagery, why would he do that? And then I'm like, there's no way. And I start to look at it more. Like, that is those are eyes, man. They've got to be eyes. That's a nose-ish, like, smeared. That looks like a mouth. This is a shadow. That looks like an under of the face, of the chin, of the neck. And this is hair. And that's like, I can't unsee it. That's all I see. That's all I see. And it blows my mind.
1991, before ending his own life.
All he says.
Many have believed this work to be unfinished due to the simplistic style of this painting compared to his other work. But as this painting has clearly been dated in the bottom right-hand corner by the rest of his work, many other people believe otherwise. It is also not entirely clear what day Charnley died. The use of big, bright red and yellow colours could be associated with his acute mental anguish at the time. This theme is not unknown during his portraits created in May earlier that year. Following his suicide, Bryan Charnley's self-portrait series was exhibited at the National Portrait Gallery in 1995. In 2015, his work formed the subject of the inaugural temporary exhibition at the newly reopened Bethlehem Museum of the Mind. What makes Bryan Charnley's final self-portrait series so fascinating is how brutally and honestly it expresses the difficulties faced living with such a controlling mental condition. The fact that his work was so heavily documented gives the portraits a truly moving story to tell.
You know what I mean? Some of the other other images could all very likely be, you know, what this guy talks about. This guy talks about it being more of like social stigma. Some of these little messages that he, some of these messages that he left, with the paintings, they do kind of sound more social, like, based, right? As far as like people talking about him and like his thoughts, you know, and like he feels like everybody can see through him and think for him, and he's like out of control on that or something. Like, I can see that, you know, a little bit. I can see it a little bit, and like I said, he leaves these quotes along with the paintings, but like, you know, maybe I'm crazy, but I can paint something and sign it, and then you can be like, oh, that's his signature, that's my sign. That's literally my signed painting, right? Like, that's my style. Like, I did that, right? Especially with the painting one. But you could come in here on Word, on Google Word, on what is that? Oh my God, Microsoft Word. You could come in on Microsoft Word, write down the spots on the brain of the head are real blood, and try to get over the mental pain I was experiencing. You know what I mean? Like, you can come in and say something for me if I'm dead or gone, but if I paint something with my specific creative hand and then sign it and date it and present it to you, or it's in my house, you know what I mean? If I was him and maybe I painted in my studio or in my house, or like, that's real, that's mine, that's genuine. Anybody else can come in and write words, and this could be written in his signature, in his handwriting. I don't know. I didn't do my research. I'm just mind blown. Does that make sense? Maybe you also were mind blown with maybe this image, at least, because that's what really got me. You should watch it. And I will link this video, of course, because this is crazy. 5 years ago. So I'm sure maybe more research has been out. Okay, don't freak out on me, okay? I'm just a little dude trying to do stuff or whatever. I don't know. Like, I just thought this was cool to share. Yeah, I don't know if you're mind blown. Like, let me know. Let me know your opinion in the comments. Like, I'm kind of curious what you guys have to think. Or if you can see this or not. Like, is it just me? Am I tripping out and I can see it and no one else can? Or, like, you might have to, like, crank your head a little bit, you know what I mean? Like, kind of look at it from the side or, like, squint a little bit. If you squint, I think it's better too. But, like, okay, you know what I mean? Okay. Whoa. Thanks for watching, if you made it this far. And I hope you have a good day.